Hey guys, it's Ghostly, and if you follow me on Twitch, you know that I am an avid One Piece fan. Um, this is pretty common knowledge. I started watching One Piece in October of last year, where mentally I was probably at one of the lowest points, and Luffy was just a character that I just connected with. Um, and I think it was I fell in love with how carefree he is, and how just blissfully ignorant, right? Like he literally fell asleep during someone's backstory because to him backstories aren't important. They don't define who you are, and I think there's something really special about that. You know, I always loved how simple of a person Luffy is. In the sense of you know, he if there's a problem, he goes to the root of the problem, right? He doesn't believe in sides. And what I mean by that is say, you feel okay, if you want to travel the world and see the world, Luffy would invite you to his crew, right? If you're hungry, he would make Sanji fix something up for you, right? If you were alone and felt as though the world wanted you dead, he would literally fight the entirety of the world for you, right? And again, it's not like I'm just saying these as random examples. We have Usopp, we have literally Sanji's entire character of him never letting someone go hungry, and we have Nico Robin, right? Luffy as a captain is just that special, right? And I think something about that just spoke to me because he's so simple. And that is a simplicity that doesn't exist in our world. Because it's simplicity that doesn't exist in a very complex world. And so seeing that and seeing him thrive, it makes it I don't know, it provides a good escape, because don't get me wrong, the world of One Piece is in a lot of ways, I would argue, worse than the world that we live in. And so in order for someone to find the drive to chase their dream and pursue that is very inspirational as someone who's actively trying to pursue their dream and keep that dream alive. I think right away I connected with Luffy saying that he's stating that he is going to become the king of the pirates, as if there's no if, ands, or buts about it. It's going to happen. And that is a level of drive and probably delusion that I just admire. And even helped me apply some of it to my own dreams. And obviously, if recent videos are any indication, for whatever reason, people like them. And it works. But no, I definitely, I think One Piece has definitely changed my life for the better. And I guess going into other characters too, because it's not just Luffy. Sanji as a person, and as a character, I feel has kind of shaped how I view, I guess, life. It feels weird to say that, but I'm also at, like, a loss for a better word or phrase, I guess. But no, literally, like, Sanji is a big reason I got into cooking, which is a life skill that I will need for the rest of my life, you know? And don't get me wrong, I think a big part of that was also, like, me wanting to take something that, like, my ex was super passionate about and become better at it. So there was a level of spite there, too, but mostly it was Sanji. But, no, like, the way Sanji and Zoro kind of have their, like, outlook on people talking to, like, how people talk to Luffy, how people treat Luffy, is very, very similar to, like, how I am with my friends, because with my friends it's very much like ride or die, right? You know, and then, like, even outside of the Straw Hats, you have Whitebeard. Hell, I'm literally planning on getting a Whitebeard back tattoo because of how much that dynamic and that found family dynamic means to me. Like, found family to me, because I, don't get me wrong, love my family, but, like, there's something about the found family dynamic that speaks volumes to me and, like, parallels the dynamic of my relationship with, like, my friends, right? Where I genuinely do see my friends as family. You know, despite everything, despite the amount of arguments and bickering and straight up fights that I've had, you know, at the end of the day, I will always see my friends as family. And I want to get that, you know, permanently inked on my back. But no, it's why I love Ace and I love Whitebeard as well. You know, those characters to me are the most relatable. You know, because, like, Ace as a hell, even as, like, an older sibling, like, it's just, there's so many different aspects of One Piece that I feel like I relate to on such a deep level. And so that's why I always will give this show so much praise, in this series, just so much praise. Because to me, it's all so well deserved, and on, like, a writing level, it's just amazing, right? And that's why I always get sad when I see people kind of just clown on it, and I was one of those people too. Where it's just, oh, it's too long. It's too long. It's not, you know, it's not worth it. It's just, you know, whatever. But no, when I started watching it, I was like, immediately my mind was changed, because it was just like, at first it was like, oh my god, I have 1,000 episodes to get through, and it's like, now I can't get enough, right? And I don't know, I think there's something about it that's just super special, you know? But yeah, no, I don't know. I feel like I want to make my love for One Piece just known. It is the show that also got me back into anime. I'd stopped watching anime for a few years because there's just, you know, shows that I wasn't super interested in. Like, I think the last show that I fully watched all the way through up until I got into One Piece was, like, My Hero. And that's when, like, season 3 came out. So, you know, now it's like, you know, One Piece got me back into anime, so now there's a bunch of shows that I'm actively watching. I'm watching Jujutsu Kaisen, Demon Slayer, Chainsaw Man, Spy X Family, like all of these shows are now on my radar because my friends got me into One Piece, and then like opened the door to like other shows. So yeah, no, I love One Piece so much. I want to do like a whole video essay on it, like just get kind of breaking it down, doing a whole scripted thing. Cause like I think there's one last thing that like I feel like I learned from this show that like is applicable to like real life, and it's that, you know, it kind of makes you realize that like there's no real good or bad side. It's not black and white, right? It's nuanced, and there's gray, and there's good and bad on both sides. And I think, you know, having that realization and applying that to real life is so important, because I feel like we live in a world where everything's painted as black and white, and it's, you know, one of two options, or the worst of, you know, two evils, or whatever the fuck. But it's like, no, I feel like genuinely we've reached a point where people forget that on a fundamental level we are all humans, right? And there's good and bad people on both sides, on all sides. And you know, I think having One Piece be the catalyst for that, with like the Marines, and you know, because like on the Marines you have like, you know, people that are just awful people, like, you know, Akainu. But then you have people like Kobe and Garp, you know, who are you know, genuinely good people. But then on the Pirates you have like Luffy and the Straw Hats and Law. But then you have like Blackbeard, you know. So it's like there's good people and there's bad people on all sides. And it's crazy that like One Piece is what taught that to me. But I'm still happy I learned it nonetheless. But like, all in all, I feel like if you haven't, I highly recommend watching One Piece. It is an amazing show, and you know, it's definitely worth the watch. I would say also, you know, watch the live action. The live action is actually surprisingly really good. It's what got me into it. But yeah, with all that being said, I will catch you guys later. Bye bye.